With Dad gone, Mum didn't have anyone to help rein us in, so us 6 kids ran riot around the house. By this point, she had mentally checked out, sometimes even forgetting to pick the younger ones up from school. She'd started having trouble with social services, and we were all labelled at risk, so I would wag school to make sure she didn't fall asleep or forget to pick the other kids up again. Not that I'd wanted to go to school anyway. Littlecoats Primary had become my living nightmare, but sometimes Mum would bribe me with sweets and money to go in, although, after some time, even that didn't work anymore. "What will it take for you to go to school, Sam?" Mum asked me. She knew social services wouldn't be happy if I played truant. "Buy me 20 fags and I'll go in," I replied bluntly. At first, she was shocked, but she'd long since given up on caring. If it meant getting me out of the house and getting social services off her back, she'd do it, and eventually she started buying me packs of cigarettes. Even then, I didn't always go to my lessons. Instead, I'd sneak round to my spot behind the school and smoke. If another kid ever saw me, I'd just scowl at them until they fled. No one ever told the teachers what I was doing, but even if they knew, they never did anything about it. I was small and scrawny, but I tried my best to look hard. I much preferred it for the kids at school to fear me rather than bully me. At home, Mum had stopped cooking us our tea after school, leaving it to me to pick up the slack. I was only 10 years old and didn't know what I was doing, so more often than not, the 6 of us lived on toast and cereal. Every now and then I'd try my best to make a proper meal, but the cooking oil would spit at me and hurt my face. The times when Mum did cook, she only ever made egg and chips, and we always complained that she didn't do the yolk right. Mum had more men than ever coming round to the house, and she wasn't shy about having sex in front of us. This had become the norm, and we thought nothing of watching cartoons in the living room as Mum romped with a stranger in the corner. David and I bonded over our mutual hatred for Mum's many boyfriends, and soon the pair of us were back to our old selves. I just spat in his cereal. "What shall we do next?" David quizzed, a wicked glint in his eye. "Let's put toothpaste in his shoe," I suggested, and we both giggled. Having David back was like having my right arm reattached, and he was the only one who would stick up for me against Mum. Back together, the 2 of us were worse than ever, and we were hell-bent on bullying Mum's boyfriends. One day, we heard her latest bloke start to run a bath before heading into Mum's bedroom. Seizing our chance, David sprinted to the bathroom and peed in the tub. Afterwards, we sat crouched behind my bedroom door, our hands cupped to our mouths, smothering the giggles. Hearing him walk back into the bathroom, we held our breath, preparing for the worst. But the next thing we heard was the sound of water splashing as he plonked himself down in the tub. David and I stared at each other in silent screams of laughter. When he finally got out, we listened from my door as he spoke to our mum on the landing. "I tell you what, love," we heard him say, "I feel so much better now, nice and clean." Unable to suppress it any longer, we both burst into roaring fits of laughter, howling at the thought of him bathing in David's wee. "Daft kids," our mum remarked, but that only made us cackle harder. I clutched my sides in stitches from laughing so much. Having David back was ace. We were determined to make sure Mum's bloke left as soon as possible, but once one was gone, he would swiftly be replaced by another. A strategy David and I discovered as one sure way to wind them up was to throw their belongings into the big bush in the back garden. They'd spend hours and even days tearing their hair out and starting rows with Mum to find their shoes, wallets or clothes. One guy constantly listened to Conway Twitty's American country music, and it drove us mad until we snapped his CD and threw it into the bush. "This is our house," I told David defiantly, marvelling at all the things we'd hidden from Mum's boyfriends, "and I want them to know it.